It takes up just 2 square miles, but the city of Hoboken, New Jersey's Catholic roots run deep. Every year, people of faith flock to a small independent chapel there dedicated to the patron saints of a small Sicilian town. As Currents News' Jessica Easthope reports, it's more than a century old, but is part of a revival of faith for many who go there.
Dan Murphy puts out the banners and rings the bells at the St. Febronia Chapel in Hoboken. Most days it sits empty, but not today. Every year on the Feast of St. Anne, a crowd from the streets of the city processes into the century-old chapel to pray for the intercession of St. Febronia and the Madonna of Tindari. They're the patron saints of Patti, Italy, a small Sicilian town with a stronghold that once occupied Hoboken's blocks.
Basically, they felt like they were put under, their safety was put under her protection and their success here in this country also.
Dan's family is from Patti. Like many others, his devotion started during his childhood, and now he's helping keep it alive and the chapel running.
It has allowed us to not only get in here, but it's helped us to foster our faith and our devotion.
The freestanding Catholic chapel doesn't hold masses, but a monthly rosary. Constance Chiesa believes the Blessed Mother and St. Febronia are responsible for a shift in her faith. So she comes here to give thanks.
The response that you get is very spiritual because whatever God gives you is given with a great deal of peace.
And she knows that in the chapel, others can find what she did.
They come in and express such joy. And to me, that means this is really a jewel.
A responsibility to carry on the devotion is exactly why Brendan Young finds himself in these pews. His family settled in Buffalo when they immigrated from Patti. Now a New Jersey resident, he heard about the little chapel that could give him a big sense of self.
When I was told it would be open, and right away I felt this kinship and this feeling at home and this spiritual sense of peace.
After 101 years, those who pray for St. Febronia and the Madonna of Tindari's intercession say their faith and this chapel were built to last.
It's a connection to my past, and it's something that I want, hopefully, my son one day to appreciate and the next generation to carry on.
There is a growing sense of dedication to promoting our cultural, but especially our spiritual heritage as Italian Americans. And whatever we can do, nel mio piccolo, as we say in Italian, in my own small way, I would be happy to do.
So in the heart of Hoboken's 2 square miles is a place that connects generations and continents to a faith that endures. In Hoboken, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
An update now on that crane collapse in Hell's Kitchen. That crane has been deemed safe with no fear of further collapse by the city's Department of Buildings, causing 10th Avenue to be reopened Thursday night. On Wednesday, 12 people, including 3 firefighters, were hurt after the burning crane collapsed from a Manhattan high-rise. All injuries are described as non-life-threatening. A building being developed at 5 World Trade Center will now be used for housing. That, according to Governor Kathy Hochul. The Manhattan building will have 1,200 new apartments, 80 of which will be set aside for 9/11 survivors and first responders. Another 400 units will go to low and moderate income New Yorkers. 1/3 of the units will be affordable for low and moderate income families. Construction on the building is set to begin in 2024. Catholic immigration advocates are applauding a judge who blocked a Biden administration rule against asylum seekers. Under the policy, migrants were expelled and disqualified from asylum unless they scheduled an appointment at an official port of entry or proved they sought legal protection in a country they traveled through. A U.S. district judge struck down the rule on Tuesday. A spokesperson for the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops welcomed the ruling in a statement, saying they will continue to monitor the case closely. Hundreds of pilgrims from the Diocese of Brooklyn are packing for a pilgrimage. This Sunday, they're taking off, heading to World Youth Day in Lisbon. The week-long pilgrimage to Portugal with Pope Francis will help bring the youth closer to Christ. And among the hundreds of thousands attending will be Gabriel Roman and Victoria Lopez, pilgrims from St. Joseph's Church in Astoria. Before their flight, they stopped by Currents News to discuss what they were looking forward to most on the trip.
I'm looking forward to it. The whole experience is kind of a blessing. just to be able to be around so much people with the same faith. We're all there for the same reason, is to strengthen our faith. And, overall, just enjoy the time and, be one closer with God.
I love it. And I know there's been a lot of events already with the youth here in the Diocese of Brooklyn. I know you've had holy hours, you've had masses. So, Victoria, tell me, how has it been, getting closer with all of these different people in the Diocese of Brooklyn? Do you feel more of like a sense of community?
It's very nice to know that young people like us still have faith. As a community, yes, we all grow stronger and bigger. And it's nice. It's nice to see everyone still together and getting prepared for this trip.
Yeah, and like we were talking earlier about people your age, not so many go to church still. So, Gabriel, I know you plan to go and strengthen your faith. So, how do you hope to keep the momentum going once you come back to the Diocese of Brooklyn?
I'm looking forward to it. The whole experience is kind of a blessing, just to be able to be around so much people with the same faith. We're all there for the same reason, is to strengthen our faith. And, overall, just enjoy the time and, be one closer with God.
That was Gabriel Roman and Victoria Lopez, who will be attending World Youth Day with the Diocese of Brooklyn. Be sure to tune in to Currents News and the tablet for continuing coverage of World Youth Day. And be sure to pick up the paper this weekend to hear even more from the Diocese of Brooklyn's Pilgrims. Read the firsthand account of a first-time attendee of World Youth Day, plus the message Brooklyn Bishop Robert Brennan gave them ahead of the global event. The paper also reported on a major event for Black Catholics around the country. Last week was the National Black Catholic Congress, which brought about 3,000 Black Catholics to Washington, D.C. During the three-day event, they examined their role in the church and talked about how to share their unique gifts and rise above ongoing challenges. You can read all of that and more by picking up a paper at your local church this weekend, but you can support the tablet by joining their membership program. To learn how to get involved and the many prizes you can earn with your generous gift, just go to thetablet.org/become-a-member. And that is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us, because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.